What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Welcome to the Verified AMA. My name is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing, and this is the Apex, or this is just the Verified AMA. Ask me anything. Where I go live, you ask questions, and I give you answers. I hope you guys had an amazing day so far. It's been a pretty decent day for me. But how's everybody doing? I mean, S&P has kind of started to float up, right? Had a nice up day, right? Despite poor earnings from AMD. I mean, talking about AMD, currently down about 7%. At its lowest, AMD was down about 9%. So crazy. So, what questions do you guys have for me today? What's going on, everybody? Please like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Shout out to Jose for making this awesome little lower third banner. We would love it if you subscribe to us on YouTube. It helps let us know that you like the content we're putting out. It also lets us know that you like this show. If you like it, comment and share it with other people. But yeah. Anyways, you can scan this QR code down below or visit the verifiedinvesting.com homepage to ask your questions. Okay? To ask questions. All right. But anyways, guys, let's hop into it, shall we? All right, let me share my charts. So, looking at my charts, AMD, we had earnings yesterday. And in the earnings, what happened? I covered it a little bit. Right? I thought I covered it a little bit, but AMD fell decently. Earnings bounced a little bit and sold off. Now has retraced and begun to continue to fall here. Take a look at this. Breaking this upsloping trend line on the 1 minute. So this is bearish for it. So I anticipate a fall in AMD. This is on the 1 minute. This is for a day trade. Just closed below VWAP. My estimate is to retrace to these lows here. Could see a fall about 2% lower. Excuse me, on AMD. So, SOX is up. We love to see that. SOX is up. Was up to just about 836 earlier, but with AMD coming down, I expect SOX to continue to go higher. NVIDIA has pretty much stayed relatively flat all day. I mean, AMD falling significantly and NVIDIA doesn't care. How? That doesn't make sense. But who cares? In other news, we have stocks like Apple moving up really high now, continue to push higher, about over 5% move up to the upside. Actually, this peak was up 6%. What a move for Apple, not something you typically see on a $3 trillion company. And if we take a look at Walmart, geez, look at this. Beautiful. Look at this beauty. Walmart breaking up from this wedge and has gone insane. Where is it likely to find pullback? This gap fill right there around 104. All right, guys, that's enough of me yapping. Gotta answer some questions, right? That's what it's here for. Or else it'd just be called Lawton yapping. Renica says, hey, Lawton, what's up, Renica? How's it going? It's going pretty well. I can't complain. This office is really cold, so I guess I can complain. But other than that, we're good. What are your buy levels for SMCI on a swing trade? Yeah, SMCI had earnings, is down 21%, continues to fall. Now, also, SMCI is being investigated for potentially backdoor selling chips to China, right? So, kind of suspicious. My levels for SMCI right here, 42.84. This is a gap fill there. And another one at $40.84 down here. There are two gap fills for you to play for a long. Nathan says, good morning. What do you see for SRPT? Everyone loves SRPT. SRPT broke this upsloping trend line, downsloping trend line, pardon me. I don't know. Just because they're earnings. If it has good earnings, this thing is going to go up like 100%, like 50%. But if it has bad earnings, I don't know, it can fall like 40%. So it's just kind of risky. So I'm not really sure. It's all going to come down to its earnings today. It's a small cap stock, not something I've traded previously, but these earnings are going to be a big deal. Ask me tomorrow, and I'll let you know on its earnings. But what is its earnings? Yeah, it's after the bell today. Luis says, Lawton, good afternoon. What's up, Luis? Thank you for doing this. Thank you for being here. Thank you for asking questions, Luis. Can you teach us how to do a fib retracement if you can use an overnight move on shop, for example? I short is more 154 shop. Okay. Overnight move on Shopify. So if we do the 10-minute chart, you're talking about this move here. What you can do is find a move from here all the way. You just pull it from that level all the way to this high, and it will tell you where the stock is likely to find support. The fib is for support, right? And we have right here around 149.52. Really depends on the move you're looking for. Like you could use this, right? You could have used this to find a retracement, like you could have bought back on this 236 pullback and then gone long. But I mean, as far as this is concerned, just the overnight move, I don't have too much. But if you go to a larger time frame, perhaps I have something for you. Okay, so if we take this move from the highs all the way down to the lows, you can see, let's go to the 10-minute. This is the 786 here. This is where you found support today, 786. I think that's 786. Yeah, 786. Pre-market. Paula says EMPH. Holding on per swing trading, verified investor. Short position. Let me see if I can, if I'm able to. Let me ask your question or look at your question. ENPH holding on swing trading, verified investor. Who's trading ENPH? Is it a small cap? It is. Okay. EMPH is a small cap. That's Drew's. Well, EMPH hasn't hit that stop out level, right? So it's if you're in the position, right, it hasn't hit the stop out level. There's no reason to get out of this yet. Question is, where are you likely to see a bounce? For me, a bounce on ENPH is likely to occur here. You have a beautiful gap fill here around $28.66. So that's likely where I would add to the position if I was in this. You can also use this previous gap fill / pivot low of the same candle down at 27.53. And that is about 10% lower from the current price. Okay, on end phase. But this down move favors a bounce, of course. Paul says Microsoft downward channel. Invest in Microsoft MSFD. Okay, so this is like a down move, right? Had earnings, right? Sold off into earnings and kind of bear flagging. This is bearish for me as an investor. I think this is bearish for Microsoft. I think it favors a move lower. So am I telling you to buy MSFD, which is just basically short Microsoft? I think Microsoft is a great short. I think it's a great short. I would short it. Okay. But that's not financial advice. You do whatever you want to do. You kind of figure out what you're comfortable with. For me, if I were to short this, let's take a look here. I would have to play with very strict rules. I would stop out on a close above double top. So if it closed at new all-time highs, I'd just stop out. And my target likely would be maybe 16, 17% on this move. SMH, Head and Shoulders, invest in socks. Where's the Head and Shoulders and the SMH? I don't see one. This is down sloping. So this is actually bullish. Not bullish, but it favors a bounce off a hit of this. This is not a Head and Shoulders pattern. You could draw something like this or this even, but yeah, Kate, I was just getting hyped. One of our office operations manager, someone heard me screaming and ran over and was like, "What's going on?" It's just because I I scream into the microphone as loud as I can while getting ready for the show, just to help bring my energy levels up, as psychotic as that sounds. Donegan says, "Dumb person here." Don't say that. You're not dumb. You just don't know. You just don't know how to do it, which is fine. Please tell me how to do shorter trading view. Sure. I keep yawning, man. I thought I got a lot of sleep yesterday. I think I got 8 hours at least. So I don't know. So on trading view, you know how you say buy, right? You know how to buy something. Well, shorting, you just click sell. Same thing. You just click sell and you're selling something that you don't already own. So you can't already have bought it. You just click sell when you don't own it, and that will initiate a short. Jessica says, "Good afternoon, Lon." What's up, Jessica? Hope you're doing well. What are your level on HIMS? Thank you. Absolutely. Let's take a look at HIMS. HIMS. HIMS, a great sell. Oh, the movement on HIMS has been nothing short of astounding, right? HIMS opened up the day down 12, 13%, pushed up higher, went green, went positive, lured everybody in, and freaking flushed. It fell again today, 8%. My level for a bounce, you have this level here, previous gap fill, $50. Huge psychological level. Should it continue further down? I'm looking right here at 41, right? But $50, the level that I anticipate a bounce. But, and I'll say this now, I'll say this again, I'll say it 100 more times in my life. I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again. I'm just giving you the areas that I predict, right? That I think give high probabilities for bounces. You can take a picture of my chart as I've annotated these levels for a bounce on HIMS. You can also pause it and write them down. Clint says, hi, Lon. What up, Clint? Hope you're doing well. BP, okay, appears to be coming a breakout of an unsloping trend line with the topping tail collecting signals. A breakout of an upsloping trend line. Okay. I kind of see that. You're talking about something like this. Something like this, where however you want to draw it, right? Something like this. Actually, let's see if there's a parallel. That would be cool. That's pretty good. It's pretty darn good. Let's see if there's another one here. Nah. Let's see this one. Nope, I like this one. For me, it's actually trading inside of this parallel. Beautiful parallel. And look, that's where it pulled back. It attempted to break out of an upsloping parallel channel, but was unable to do so despite having earnings today. Yeah, yesterday, pardon me, had earnings yesterday. So my target for this would be at least back to the midline of this. Guys, I'm so sorry. I need to I don't know what's going on. I need to wake up. Jeez, I'm not even tired. I just keep yawning for no reason. All right, let's bring some energy back into this. Okay, BP, you're trading in this parallel, and let me turn this into a teachable moment. Okay, so when you're trading in a parallel channel, particularly upsloping or downsloping, when you face pullbacks, right, you have a trend line up here, a trend line down here. When you hit those levels, you expect pullbacks, right? The 1, 2, third hit, you expect a big pullback, right? And you can kind of find a target at this midline, right? People often only think the only things you need for a good parallel channel are 1, 2, are these pivots on either side, but that's not true. You also need a lot of price action around this midline, and we can see how much price action there's been around this midline. So for me, if I was shorting this, I'd target somewhere in this midline area around 3.5% lower. But the more times you hit on this trend line, upsloping trend line, wherever it is, it favors a move higher. But let's see. Let's wait and see what BP does. All right. We're going to turn it up a little. All right. Jason says, thank you, Lawton. Well, thank you, Jason. You can't say thank you if I say thank you first, even though you said thank you first. Anyways, doesn't make sense. Resistance. What about XRP? XRP, USDT. Resistance now at $3. What do you think? We appreciate Team VI. I have resistance right here at 310. This was my previous entry into this, around 310. 310, 311. That's where I think resistance is for XRP. Okay, should it continue higher? I really like this 324 level. And if it continues, you could find a retrace to this trend line around 7-ish% higher. Jason says, also, we got into Big Bear AI, BBAI, before it popped to about 850. Now it's back down. Can you look at this chart again, brother? Thank you. Sure. So BBAI, what to say about this company? BBAI is, it's not so far down, but it is down decently from its highs. Let's see if we can't find a trend line here. Okay, BBAI had this downsloping trend line, broke out of retracing. What do I say about how to enter trend line breaks? There are two places you can enter: a breakout or a reentry. If you really, really, really love this this stock and you really want to get back into it, you can enter back on a retrace. Hopefully that coincides from this gap fill. If it comes down there tomorrow, about 30 cents lower, about 5% lower, around 641, that would be a two-factor trade for you on BBAI. So next thing, Joseph says, good afternoon, Lon. What's up, Joseph? Do you think SOX is going to the $10 range by this month? By the way, I love the background. Thanks. This is my office. I don't know if you guys can see my office. It's we got a coffee table over here, back over here, and yeah. Usually Gareth sits here, but anyway, he sits over there. But yeah, let me know if you want me to go draw something on the chalkboard over here. All right. Anyways, unless you're talking about this moving one over there, in which case it's virtual. Do I think SOX is going to the $10 range by the end of the month? I think it depends on NVIDIA. I thought SOX would be higher considering AMD just kind of got slammed, right? SOX is where? Where are we on SOX? 815. But it's all going to come to NVIDIA. If NVIDIA has bad earnings in 21 days, 3 weeks from now, SOX could be $10 easily. But it all depends on NVIDIA earnings. All eyes for the entire markets are on NVIDIA. My eyes are also on there too. Mar says, your suggestion for the fundamentals for a topping tail on the VI website was very helpful. Thanks. Out of Netherlands. You're welcome. Out of Florida. Always wanted to check out the Netherlands, visit the Netherlands. But maybe one day. Like I've been in Europe a couple times, mostly the UK. I've been to Paris. I want to go to like this. My dream is to ski or snowboard down the Swiss Alps. Brewski says, good day, Lawton. Good day, Brewski, to you as well. How are you? I'm good. Hopefully you're well. You are also well. Are you day trading Aquila today? 85 Pierce, maybe you could consider a short. If so, buy and sell levels, I would short it on a Pierce of 85, maybe 85.25. A Pierce to that. I'd short it at all-time highs. And I'd probably only look for about $1 on that. Yep. Pratik says, hi, Lon. Good to see you back. Good to see you back, Pratik. Hope you're doing well. I'm all right. I would like to ask, what's your thoughts on Walmart? Yeah, and I talked about this earlier. Is it coming to a double top? It's certainly trying to, right? And this 104 level is going to provide major resistance because there's that gap fill right there. I anticipate a pullback from it, but it does have a dividend payout and then earnings in 2 weeks. So we have to see what's going to happen. My thesis is that it's going to continue to float higher into earnings, and then earnings will be the decider. So definitely could be. Kean says, hey, Lon, how are you? I'm good, Kean. How are you? What's your buy swing level for SMCI? SMCI had earnings. It's in the pooper. My levels on SMCI are 42.84 and 40.84. These are my two levels for a swing on SMCI that I'd be interested in. Sarah says, how are you, Lawton? Thanks for your help. I'm good, Sarah. I hope you're well as well. I hope you are well as well. I hope you are also well. I'm cold. I hope you're not cold. It's summer in Florida, and I'm indoors, and I'm cold. How does that make sense? I don't know. Anyways, is this a valid VIX drawing? What are the best signals to go long on VIX? Let's take a look. Okay, is that valid? It It was valid, but the downsloping parallel channel is valid. All right, let's talk about it. Let me show my charts. You sent up move. This can't be. What time frame is this on? 10-minute hourly. Okay, it's on the hourly. So on this, you had a parallel channel. Let's have it drawn. Like here to down here. Something like this, right? Something like this. And if you extend it out, you get something kind of like this, right? You said there's a inverse head and shoulders, kind of like this, right? Even though I don't know how I'm drawing it poorly, but let's say you go over here and we just draw an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Okay, this is a valid head inverse. I already made it invalid. What am I doing? Who knows? This is an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Okay, what this is the neckline. It's downsloping. This is valid. But what you had sent me, instead of price action going up here, you had price action continue lower and go like this, right? This is not valid because this shoulder is bigger than the head. Think about it like this. If you're walking down the street, okay, actually, let's turn this into a teachable moment. All right, here's how to think about whether a head and shoulders pattern is valid or not. Particularly, you understood yesterday I explained the downsloping, upsloping necklines for bullish and bearish sentiment, but I'm talking about this now, okay? And I'm going to go full screen for this, so don't be scared. Imagine you're walking down the street, okay? And you see me, my shoulder, my posture. My posture is not the best, but my shoulder line makes sense. Now, if my shoulder line is like this, you're like, okay, there's something like wrong with him, but he still has a head and shoulders. But you never see this shoulder go over your head. Like, I don't even know how that's possible. Like, I'm physically trying to do it. Like, I'd have to be like tilted like this. But it's not very common. You don't see it often that the shoulder is above the head of the person. In the same way, okay, in the same way, when you're talking about inverse or head and shoulders patterns, okay, this shoulder is bigger than this head. The shoulder is not, no matter how hard I try, I can't put my shoulder higher than my head. I'm trying really hard. I'm trying way harder than I should because I know it's not possible. But I can't do that. And in the same way, the head and shoulders pattern is invalidated if the shoulder is higher than the head. Okay? You didn't ask for all that. You didn't even want to see that probably. But I still gave it to you anyways. Welcome to the AMA. But for the VIX, downsloping parallel channel favors a move to the upside. All right. Oh, man. Mar says, hi, Lawton, what's up? Bitcoin is pretty choppy. Why do you think that is? Looks like it can't make up its mind because maybe it can't make up its mind. Maybe it can't. Oh, okay. You can see how beautiful this drawing is. I think this same thing as yesterday. I think it's a bear flag. I think it's this down move and upward sideways consolidation favors a move down. I think 106 is my target. I'm bearish on Bitcoin as of now. Subject to change, but at least for now, I'm bearish. While you're here, guys, I just want to ask you to go ahead and like and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm, really helps us out. It helps my overlords know that you appreciate this type of content, that you like this show, that you want it to keep going, that you don't want it to be taken off the air. So if you're getting value out of it, Show some love. All right, back to the questions. Tyler says, what up, Lawton? What's up, Tyler? Hope you're doing well. Can you give us some insights into Oglo? Is it in a flag formation? Let's see. OKLO, it's kind of premature, right? I could say it would be bull flagging if you saw an up move and this sideways, especially particularly downward movement, but not necessarily, right? Like I don't have much. I only have one candle. So if I had like 5 more candles that look like this, yeah, it would be bull flagging. However, what do we know about Oglo? It's on my screen. I see it. You see it. This little stinker down here. Next earning reports in 5 days. So even if it bull flags into earnings, I'm not touching it. It's at the highs of the chart. And what do we know about bull and bearish signals? Are bullish signals more likely to play out at the highs of the charts or the lows? The highs. The answer is the highs, right? And say the opposite is true for bearish. Where are you least? Yeah, it's more likely to a bullish pattern is more likely to play out at the lows of the charts and less likely to play out at the top. And bearish patterns are more likely to play out at the top rather than the bottom. Not that they can't. It's a game of probabilities. Game of probabilities. Cool. What up? Hey, Lon, do you think the topping tail on LTC, USDT, okay, Litecoin, is a good short? Yes. It looks good. It's decent. Paul says, thank you, Lawton. I'll continue to review your training videos. Awesome. Yeah, and here's something I love about the company I work for here at Verified Investing is that, yes, right, every single company, every single business needs to make money, right? And so we offer services and courses and all things like that. And those services are actually geared to help pay for your subscription and help you profit. But that's not my favorite thing. My favorite thing is that the company is so focused on providing education and helping, train people to become better traders and have a better financial future that we have tons and tons of free content available on our website. I wrote an ebook about stock trading, like the basics of stock trading, that's literally available for free on the website. We have like a free course as well, tons of free content. So check it out. Paula says, got to get to Italy. Yeah, I want to go to Italy. I want to go to the Amalfi Coast. I want to check out Milan. Love to see the food, eat the food. I love Italian food. I've been trying to cook this lobster dish, this Italian lobster dish. And all it's really done is cost a lot of money for overcooked lobster. So anyways. Marcus says, what percentage gain should I shoot for when doing options? Probably around 50%, but they're really risky. Pratik says, I thought on Litecoin a recent high of 129. Thoughts on, yep, I got you ready with that Litecoin. Looks like a good short, potentially. Beautiful topping tail. Mar says, you're the mighty. Welcome, Mr. 97% who knows his classics. Just give me a call. By the way, of course, I know you guys are in Florida. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We have people come in all the time and visit our office and come say hi. So if you're ever in town. Tony says, tried to look into Kinesis.money, tried to find out about KAU, KAG on his KBT. Where can I learn about it? You can learn on our website. We actually have an entire area talking about it on our website, or look at Kinesis.money. Check out their website for their yields and stuff. It's pretty cool, right? That you can literally trade a crypto equivalent of gold that you can convert to gold or silver at any time. So we really appreciate their sponsorship of us, Kinesis.money. But good question, Tony. Let's see, what else we got? Aaron says, hey, Lawton, been really grasping the concepts of trend line, parallel line, and various indicators, but I'm struggling to set a solid stops and profit taking. What are your strategies and methods for setting stops and profit taking targets? For me, when I'm looking to trade something, particularly with swing trading, I have a thesis and then I have support and resistance levels. I will stop out if my thesis is negated. Let's say I enter on a head and shoulders pattern, right? I enter on this head and shoulders pattern. Oh, that was not valid. I don't know what I'm doing. My brain is messed up. Right? This is let's say this is invalidated because it now went above the head, I'll stop out, right? And I'll look to take profits at support or resistance, right? Let's say I shorted here on Litecoin, for example, because I saw this topping tail. My profit target would probably be about 10% lower from this level at around 106, because that's where I anticipate a bounce, right? My target profit, I want to take profits at support. So wherever I think the price is going to reverse against me, that's where I'm going to exit. And should this topping tail be negated, it closes above this or gets above this topping tail, then I'll stop out if that's my only indicator. So if you're able to draw parallel channels and other indicators like that, you can find out where support and resistance levels and use those for your entries, your exits, your stops, your adds, and your targets. Brewski says, awesome head and shoulder demonstration. LMAO, yeah. I try my best. Jason says, lucky Lawton. We said thank you first because we appreciate Drew, Gareth, yourself, and all of the VI team every day. Awesome. Thanks. So thank you. We are learning so much. Our last question, chart, please. SUI. Sure. Let's check out SUI, USDT. Okay. Do you see 342 as support? How high do you see the resistance? I mean, these 342, not 100% sure how you got that level, but this pivot low would be support for me. And down here around these levels here would be additional support for me. So about 5% and 11% lower. As far as I have like a million lies, I apologize. Resistance, I'm looking at this pivot high here around 14% higher. You could also look here at these double tops up here around 432 for resistance on SUI, but it's my support and my resistance levels. Nathan says, what do you think about Ethereum? What's your target? So Ethereum down move. We could see a bull flag if it moves up and starts to consolidate here. You had this beautiful inverse head and shoulders pattern on Ethereum with a targeted move up to 4,500. That's still far cry down. For me on Ethereum, if you have a bullish case, my target would be this pivot high of 411, $4,113, basically. Okay. Donegan says, where's the free book? That's a good question. Where is the free book? I will show you where the free book is. This is weird. I'm like watching myself. Okay, I don't want to watch myself. If you go to the Verified Investing homepage, right, and you click right here, the Traders Research Center, totally underutilized, this top left area here. Click on that. You have tons of stuff. Stock Trading 101, free ebook written by me. You can understand topping tails, traders insights. Our free apprentice trading library is here. Which is a free course that we've come up with. Top take 10 trading mistakes. This is also a free webinar you can check out. Bunch of education stuff. There's tons and tons of research and free content on this Traders Resource Center. And that's again why I love our company so much, because we walk it like we talk it. As a poet once said, we walk it like we talk it. Who sang that song about? Who Migos, as the Migos said, walk it like we talk it. Anyways, but yeah, the Traders Research Center is great. Oh my god. I'm sorry to anyone that has to watch this from our team. Riddell says, can you see shop for a pullback Shopify? Yeah. Let's see, where is Shopify going to pull back? That's a great question. Pullback was up significantly for me. You have double top up there. And the highest it got today appears at 156 basically. So let's zoom in a little bit, see if I can't find some tradable levels for you guys. Got to 156. For me, you have a bunch of pivot highs. That's basically what I'm looking at right now for potential areas of resistance on Shopify. Okay, 163, 170, and 176. Paula says, look at the Madalena Archipelago, beautiful and more unique to Sardinia. Check it out. I read a book growing up called The Hidden Archipelago or something. Wow, that's so pretty. I'd love to go there. And the Cinque Terre. Thanks for sharing, Paula. Wow, that's so pretty. It looks like in the movies. It looks like a movie was filmed there. I think it was like the latest Equalizer with Denzel Washington. I think he's in Portugal or something, but it looks something like that. Beautiful. Keaton says, I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and I also caught cold while staying indoors in 90-degree hot weather. It's so weird. It is. It is. Paul says, what would be awesome is if the thesis provided with the buys, VI sends those out. Yeah, I mean, I think that sometimes they do. I mean, it depends on the trader, right? But, I mean, when we're giving out trades, we really just want to get them out as fast as possible so you can capitalize on the price action as soon as possible. But perhaps in our weekly updates, we can cover those levels. Martin says, hey, Lon, appreciate your input and appreciate your questions, Martin. Do you keep up with or trade IPOs? Not really. Like, I'll look at them after they IPO'd, right? But I'm not going to, like, trade them right after unless – and I wouldn't recommend it because it's super risky. I'd only do it if you are a sicko, if you're sick in the head. And luckily for you, I am sick in the head. Circle IPO'd. I shorted it at 280. I shorted it at 280, and it went against me. I was out of the money like 7%, and I sold all my shares except for 50. So I'm still in 50 shares. Going to sell my 50 shares at 133. But I saw the price action on this, and I was like, this is a rug pull. Like, this is a rug pull. This is insane, and it worked out so far. Knock on wood, even though I'm already in the money over $100 per share and I could cash out $5,000, but I didn't. Why? Because I'm sick in the head. Mar says, just curious, can Trump fire you? I don't know. Probably. Derek says, good day, Lauren. What's up? Just wondering what a typical call on a day trading room call sounds like. Okay, I'm going to show you what it looks like, okay? This is not a real trade. This is just a hypothetical trade, okay? This is what it would be like in the live day trading room. I'd say, okay, guys, I have an order out to go long SOXS at $8.03. If it comes down here, I would enter a 1/10 position, which is 10% of my cash portfolio. And then once it hits, be like, it's getting close. All right, guys, I haven't filled. I'm long SOXS, $8.03. 1/10 portfolio. It's going to be on there for display for you. And I would say my ads are going to be every 10 cents I'm going to add another tenth to my position. And my profit target is around a 10-cent profit. That's exactly what it sounds like. In fact, this is the exact level that I would likely trade stocks today if it came down there. Keaton says, I have stocks, options, crypto, swing services subscribed. Does it make any sense to subscribe to the AI day trading alerts? What's the win rate for the AI day trade service? Thanks. You are welcome. Great question. Thank you so much for being a valued member of the Verified Investor community. You collected all of the Infinity Stones. Congratulations. Let me see here. Okay. So we have a crypto and a day trading one. And I can show you some statistics. So if you take a look at our cryptos one, you can see all of our profits and losses. If you're subscribed, you can see the win rate's about 80%, right? But that's with only an entry and a stop out, right? So no ads to it. 75% win rate. It's net positive. So it's pretty cool, pretty good. The stock one, I don't know if we have that information publicly available. Let me see here. If you take a look here. Yeah, I don't know if we have that. But as far as stocks or crypto is concerned, we have about an 80% win rate for the last 30 days and 75% win rate for this year. You can just do the math. And you see our wins are relatively the same size as our losses, right? So, yeah. Pretty cool. That we kind of took, well, Gareth did, right? He sat down with a team out of actually the Netherlands, funnily enough, and he kind of worked out, taught them his methodology, what he uses in his mind when he's trading, and comes up with a strategy and lets it play out. So pretty cool. Do you guys do option alert service every day? Yeah, we have options every day. Riddell. All right, guys, I'm over time again. It's 119. I'm sorry to the team for being late. Sorry about that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking, subscribing, leaving me a comment. I do read those comments, and it means a lot to me. If you have any additional questions, you can ask them to me tomorrow or the day after that. Because I do this every day from 12:30 to 1:15, or you can send them to me on Twitter at Lawton Investing, just my first name followed by the word investing at Lawton Investing. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Best of luck trading, and I hope to see you all soon. Have a good one. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.